Hi, I'm here to talk about psychopathology today. So, psychopathology is a really complex term, and it's the concept of trying to explain the whys of human behavior, thought, and feelings. So, just talking from a scholarly perspective, I found some things really interesting from Kring and Johnson in their book about abnormal psychology, copyrighted in 2021. They discuss three main characteristics that are considered to come up to the conclusion of psychopathology. And the first one is personal distress. The second one is disability and dysfunction. And the third is the violation of social norms. Now, any one of these does not term that someone is that they have a psychopathological disorder. But you have to consider all three of them and kind of weigh how it affects daily functioning in order to come up with the determination of whether it's a psychopathological disorder or not. Something else that I found really interesting is Kring and Johnson also mentioned that stress is found in almost all psychological disorders. And not only that, but 85% of psychological disorders are also correlated with disturbances in the emotional processing. So I find that really interesting to realize that emotional processing and stress are very key factors that kind of correlate with psychopathology. From a secular perspective, there's one major problem that gets in the way. That's a huge roadblock, and it's a negative stigma that the majority of people just have. So this negative stigma has a label. They label the abnormal behavior, and then this behavior gets attributed with negative attributes. And then it becomes an us versus them mentality. And once that happens, then it's very easy or natural to just move into discriminating against the them. So that's really a problem that we have currently. So turning to the Bible and looking at the Bible, and what does the Bible say about abnormality? The Bible doesn't mention abnormality at all, doesn't mention mental health. So let's go back and consider the fall. Let's look at Adam and Eve. So with the fall, sin was introduced to the world. And with sin came an inner turmoil and conflict. And with that, it led to and it created emotional distress. So it's interesting that that pattern is found again and again, not only in Adam and Eve, but in David, in Jonah, in Job. There are so many examples in the Bible of that process. So to conclude, how do I define psychopathology from a Christian worldview perspective? It all boils down to we are human, and to be human means you're going to struggle. There is not one soul that is born that does not struggle. So I look to the words of Christ. And in Mark 12, he defines the two greatest commandments. Love God with all your heart, might, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And so as people in Christ's time were struggling to understand what that meant, in Luke 10, he clarifies with the parable of the Good Samaritan. What does it mean to love your neighbor? And he looked into that. Well, it means you're willing to sacrifice your time. It means you're willing to sacrifice your resources, your supplies, your money. You're willing to have that compassion for others. And I think that that's really important for us to remember, that there's going to come a time in life where you struggle and you need help. And it's really important for us as a human race to be able to help those that need help. And then when we need help, we'll be able to have the help that we need. Thank you.